Hey everybody, come into Fantastic Comics and get Raiders from Dark Horse Comics. It's written by Daniel Friedman with art by Crom, Conan's favorite artist. Raiders is a fantasy comic with stylized artwork that's reminiscent of Andrew McLean. He's the guy that does Headlopper. Not unlike that, this is fantasy based. There's a lot of beheadings and violence and all sorts of stuff that's really cool. Daniel Friedman's the writer of Undying Love. You might have read that from Image Comics. And Crom has done an artwork for a book called Bird King. So if you've read those, or you just like fantasy, or you just like something different than the main two, you should come into Fantastic Comics and get Raiders. I know I will be.
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fantastic Comics Presents. This is our 23rd episode of this series of comic book shows that's centered around your favorite comic book store, at least your favorite in the East Bay. Maybe all of California. All right, not really, but yours, the ones that are out there watching. Hey, everybody that's not here live. Want to say hello to all of you. Thanks for tuning in. We got some guests, obviously. We have ATN in the lobby. We'll get to him in just a moment. Let's say hi to everybody that's here. Let's start off with Bruja. Hey, Bruja. How's it going? And, of course, Jill from the other room. She's right there. And as always, Fantinuum, way to go. I'd be really worried if we didn't see you, or at least know up front if you weren't going to be here. Moby's here. Hey, Moby. How you doing? I hope you're chained to that table drawing. Hi from San Diego. We got Diablo Hashcraft. How's it going over there? Hope everything is cool, chill, if you will. And let's see. You all should make the smallness of the new store as a character. We'll get like a green screen going of that soon. How'd you like my opening? Did you like a little commercial before you see the start the show? I thought it was the way to go. Anyway, let's get this camera on my face. Let's see if it's not gonna break. All right, let's see. All right, there we go. Hey, everybody. All right. So, this is the 23rd episode of Fantastic Comics Presents. I have entitled it The Importance of Continuity, or does continuity make comics important, or is it important to the story and whether or not it's good? And we can include ATN in this conversation because, it doesn't just have to be all about comics. So, why don't I say, hey, everybody. Say hi to ATN. ATN.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? I
ATN,
missed
hi.
all my buttons. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Pretty good. You know what, Moby? You're right. The 23rd number is important. It adds up to 5, and for number nuts, I think that's a big deal.
Wait, what? Gotcha. Math.
Yeah.
Keep going. I like where this is headed.
Anyway, I'm just agreeing. Also, 23 is like so many superstars in sports, and it's also my birthday, so...
Oh, no wonder you like it.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, but I'm not joking about that number nut stuff. Yeah.
I've never actually encountered any number nuts. I have only seen the movie Pi.
I've not seen that. Is that Aronofsky?
It is, and
Okay.
it's fun. I remember it being quite entertaining, but it brought up a good point. Like if you focus on a number, you'll start seeing it everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Bruja says 5 is your numerology number. Way to go.
I don't know what that means.
Bruja, we're going to have her on the show one day. Maybe it'll be a Yule Carter one because Bruja's got like a zillion stories that will floor people. And I'm sure they're pretty easy to coax out of her.
Good.
Yeah,
Bring
23
it.
Skidoo,
I love
exactly.
stories. I love stories. Absolutely can't get enough of them. We are 138.
We can't start too early about continuity being ignored by Bendis. I mean, if I get started with Bendis, I'll just keep going for the whole show.
Does that mean I will go to sleep?
Brian, yeah, exactly. We want to
Right.
make sure ATN can be a part of the conversation too.
Look, I'm already really tired. Please do not do that.
Coffee Junkies in the house. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
And Dr. Pepper has 23 flavor ingredients. That's right. Look at that. I mean, this is it's probably there you go.
Uh-huh.
If I should have like a blue moon on my birthday, that'll be like, well, it would be impossible, but that'll be a big deal. Anyhow.
Hey, so somebody in chat wrote we are 138, and you know what that's from, correct, Yule? Misfits. I think it's the Misfits.
Is it the Misfits?
Might be one of Danzig's other bands.
I like
don't
the Misfits
remember.
and all, but I guess I'm not.
We are 138. I'm pretty
Is
sure
that what
that's
they
the
say?
Misfits.
I mean, so much
Yeah.
of this music is. That's Danzig. Just make sure it's deep.
I remember.
K. Titus from Japan. How's it going, man?
I watched a documentary a couple of weeks ago on the band Slint. Do you know who they are? They're a band from Kentucky.
Okay.
Louisville, Kentucky, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very interesting. One of them got into a car. Doesn't matter. One of them got into a car accident, and they thought he was going to die. And he was in an ambulance going to the hospital from the car accident. And they said something about the code that they were calling into the hospital was 138. And he's lying there almost dead, and he says, "We are 138. We are 138." And he lived through the whole thing, and whatever. It's not that important. Slint is amazing. You should listen to them. They're very ambient from the 90s.
Oh, ambient. Okay.
Well, just go listen to it. Don't worry about words.
That's good because I like more and more. I like music only. Is there a problem? No.
No, they're not ska.
They're not a ska band. Yeah. Yeah. I think you answered that. So, how was your week?
It was good, but I honestly don't remember why. I mean,
Because
it was a lot of reading and taking notes, and a lot of recording and stuff. So yes, it's been busy.
Yeah, let me get that up for everybody.
A lot of book business this month, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot. Kind of getting onto the edge of annoying. You know, it's like, hey, look, I have a small business because it's small. It's starting to make me angry. Buy less stuff.
God damn. You know, our site is a bitch to get to.
You mean your comic book store website?
No, yours for the sci-fi fantasy read along page.
Yeah, that's annoying.
You can follow it in YouTube.
It's annoying.
By clicking that link that I just put right there. If you're over there in Facebook land, why don't you say hi, at least for a moment, so we can make fun of you? Not really. I didn't mean that.
You can just
But
type in the number,
we would like to
man.
say hi.
I mean, it's got the name on it now. But it doesn't
does.
work. Yeah, it doesn't work, though, does it? Or do you not know it?
No, I know it. It's just you have to type the whole thing.
Yeah, it's
or
annoying,
else
right?
sci-fi fantasy.
You know, if I had known that was how it worked and you couldn't customize it, I would have probably chosen a shorter title.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would have.
Like Scafa, read along.
SFR,
Scafa.
FFRA. It was
Sci-fi.
perfect. Just the initials would have been perfect.
All right. Hey there. Wait, that's YouTube, though. How's it going, Stephanie?
Hello.
Nice to see you. Oh, and that's Stephanie. Let's add someone to our stream. Hey, Jeff.
Hey! Well, hello there.
How's it going?
Great.
Hey, Jeff.
Absolutely great. Hello. I got a new camera. It looks slightly less bad, but not good.
Why not good?
It's weird because it looks a lot
quality.
better. Yes. Well, I mean, you tell me. You're looking at it, aren't you?
Much closer in. It looks fine, but it looks like you don't have like adequate lighting. That's all.
Well, I mean, it's grainy. Yeah. No,
They get less grainy. They get less grainy with more light.
For good lighting. Yeah. Hey. Hi.
Hi.
How's that?
Hey, Jeff. It's good. It's good. I mean, do it to your taste, obviously.
Wait, it's your birthday?
Whose birthday?
My taste?
Wait a minute. It's the middle of the summer.
Dude?
I don't know whose birthday
happy
it is.
birthday, my dude?
Everybody who was born today.
I don't doubt.
Agreed. Yeah.
I gotta admit, I don't know anybody's birthdays for the most part.
Born today.
And honestly, a very merry unbirthday to all the rest of y'all.
Yeah, because it's not your birthday. It's not your birthday.
It's not your birthday.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on a sec.
Don't push in.
All right, there we go. Oh wow, we all have our names for real. Oh no, mine's in March, and it's the 23rd.
For real?
When's yours, ATN?
What?
So people can send us gifts on the right days.
September, early September.
Early September. You got to figure out the day.
I mean, doesn't matter.
I guess it really doesn't. The whole
Anywhere in there
is
is acceptable. Anywhere in there is acceptable.
Straight what? Zooted?
Is that a type of fish?
Yeah, straight zooted, baby.
All right, we have another person. Oh, how's your week been? You've been working more a lot lately.
Yeah, more a lot, all the way a lot. Yeah, I have been working. That
sounds like a fancy land where strange creatures live.
More a lot?
More a lot, yeah.
I mean, strange creatures do live there in the BART tunnels. Not unlike Morlocks, actually. Morlock.
Yeah. I wouldn't have been
surprised.
surprised.
Strange creatures, and there is no one in the BART tunnels to prevent those strange creatures from just wandering around with no mask and
no natural predators.
Sounds like a Vault comic book.
You must wear a mask in order to be inside of a BART station. That's the rules as posted by signs. However, signs don't have the capability to make people put a mask on.
Yep.
Signs are only good for people who read and obey signs.
Other
than that, they don't have an effect. And in the BART system, they don't have an effect because BART is a lawless land where people are just rolling through, packing train cars, maskless.
Are they really?
Oh, it's fucking horrible.
1 minute more to go.
My bad.
Time out.
Look,
sorry, parents.
That's how bad it is. Parents should know. Kids should know too. It's horrible. Okay.
It's okay, Jeff, because Yule did it to me yesterday.
Know.
He did it to me yesterday.
I did do it to you, but it was so awesome. I cussed it. It was it's one of those really awesome cusses, like it's just at the right time. It really gives the proper inflection. We never do it.
You don't curse on the
podcast? No, we want it to be good for everybody.
But don't they curse in the books? Like they definitely curse in the Black Company books. Like they say fuck all the time.
No, we don't.
We don't quote it.
Not that
right,
much.
But nobody who objects to hearing fuck should be reading.
I don't want to
the Black
click that
Company.
box that says, "Is this intended for children?" Like, I'm
I
not
see.
clicking that box. I don't care what happens.
But
it's
the
not
Black
gonna
Company
happen.
is not intended for children.
Our content is
argue.
sober. It's sober. Like,
Have
we
you
don't have to
noticed
worry.
that on social media and in other platforms, there's a lot of celebrities and even normal people that are just making sure you know that they're wearing masks?
Still relevant.
No, it's still relevant. I don't disagree. What I'm saying is they're all doing it at all the same time. And it's just like, man.
Great. That's because everything's reopening now and people are having to go back out into the world. So they should be wearing masks, because just because you're allowed to go to the bookstore doesn't mean you have to go to the bookstore, because what the hell? Just order it off the internet. You just want to get out of your house. I get it. That doesn't mean you should. It's not a good idea.
Can you tell me that story that you put up on Facebook?
Which you're going to have to be more specific.
The one about the guy that came in and you just barreled through, and how your manager had...
I mean, I was fortunate in that I was behind the counter, so I was safe. But, you know, we have one person on the door at all times. And then we have... what the hell am I looking at?
He was distracting you from your story. Don't. Just keep going. Keep going.
No,
just keep going.
Why? Wait, now that we have this to look at, why?
Just tell us about this guy. What was this guy like? Tell me.
Well, he's a guy that I've seen a million times. And he comes into the store and he refuses to leave. He sometimes gets violent, throwing items from the shelves at us. Or just picking up anything and throwing it at the employees, and refusing to leave, to the point where you almost have to call the police. And then by the time you pick up the phone and dial the number, then he leaves, and then it's a pointless exercise. Just like calling the police always is an exercise in futility. Don't call the police. But he came in and he just like rolled through and just went, came into the store and then started talking. He talks gibberish. You can't understand a word that he's saying. I'm fairly sure that it's all English, but you cannot understand it. I don't actually have, I'm not a police officer, so I don't have the freedom to just choke out whoever I want to at any time. Sorry, that would be cool, but that's not really the way that life works for me.
No, you might.
And also, I would never touch this person. Sure, it's 100% right. I would never come into physical contact with this person ever, for any reason, especially not if he were not wearing a mask and we're in the middle of a viral pandemic. So the fact that someone had to like physically push him out the door, I was like, that's not cool. That's not cool. I would not be okay with that.
Yeah. You don't want to touch this guy. So how'd you get rid of him?
Like he has a big
happened?
bushy beard and stringy hair. He's a white person, as most of the most awful people I come into contact with are. So that's accurate. Yeah, that's not bad.
That's good. That's a good one. All right, excellent. How'd you get rid of him?
I didn't.
How'd your manager get rid of him?
He just bodied him out the door.
Oh,
he just,
man.
kind of put up one of these and boom, boom.
I got a stick for that. Is what I've got.
Oh yeah, no. I'm saying I have Lysol. I'm going straight for the sorry, he was coming at me with what I thought was a viral load, so I had to just disinfect that.
It wasn't me. It wasn't Lowell.
From what I've heard from the president, disinfectant inhalation is recommended. So
it might not be recommended, but it can't hurt. By him,
he said it would probably knock it out. So
that's right.
Anyway, that guy, he'll be back. Another guy earlier in the week, which is to say the day before, a guy with a star tattoo under his left eye.
Facial tattoos, neck tattoos.
He
those are questionable.
a wiffle bat at me, and I was like, "Bro, you don't know who the fuck you're dealing with. Don't come at me. Look at that. You see that? That's a wiffle ball, bro. I'm not scared of no wiffle bat."
That's a wiffle ball champion. There is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
What was your batting average that year? That season?
We didn't have seasons or years or anything like that. We didn't really keep statistics.
Oh yeah, I never played Frolf. Gosh.
But I did, like, during one of the tournaments where I was on MDMA during the tournament, I did hit like 6 home runs.
Wait, what tournament?
A wiffle ball tournament.
A wiffle ball tournament?
Not just the wiffle ball tournament.
I mean, in this instance, yes. The one in which I was playing. So, yes.
Well,
and how'd you do, you said?
How'd I do?
Yeah.
6 home runs.
6 home runs?
Yeah.
That's probably had good.
I probably had 6 strikeouts also. It was probably 6 home runs, 6 strikeouts.
All or none.
That would be my guess. But, I can't remember if it was MDMA or LSD, actually. Sorry if this is too hot of a topic for the children.
I think this is great.
Kids
a lot of times,
LSD. I know.
When people finally find us and, they realize there's live chats and we're talking about doing psychedelics and stuff. Oh, by the way, the guy that makes the candy mushrooms came by.
Oh, yeah. How are those candy mushrooms, by the way?
They're good, but I don't feel... There you go. Those are lime coconut, and I can't stand coconut.
Yeah, I don't want to put the lime
flavor of coconut.
Put the lime in the coconut and get it the fuck out of my face.
That's right. That's 2 things I don't like. Get them out of here.
I love lime, but coconut, no.
I don't even like lime.
Yeah. Well, to each is to own. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Anyway, these candies. So I didn't know what these powdered ones were, and they were like much larger than the ones that Quick Draw was just holding up. Maybe pull one out for the people to check out. Anyway, this guy is like, mushrooms are legal, like in Oakland and stuff like that, in some places.
In Oakland, yes.
Medicinally, of course.
Correct.
And these are of medicinal quality, and he has all sorts.
It's a puzz.
Yeah. He does puzzle pieces. They do all sorts of other ones also. Anyway, I have
what shows up when you
much
put them all
larger
together.
one, and that's supposed to really F me up. So I think after the show tonight, I'm gonna just eat one.
Wait, don't you have to work tomorrow?
No, I don't. So anybody that wants to see me tomorrow, sorry, that's not going to happen.
He's going to be busy.
Well, not only that, but I have a live stream on Ikari Press's channel on YouTube, and we're going to live stream Fighter Fest, which is an AEW wrestling show, which is a pay-per-view quality. And we get together for these pay-per-views anyway. We'll buy the pay-per-view, and then we'll get on. These guys are like from the East Coast, southern states, and then there's me. They think like that we're all hippies out here. And then Jeff comes along and he cements the idea, the notion.
Me?
I'm just joking. I'm just imagining what people would think.
I'm not.
Anyway,
I'm from the East Coast.
I know. That's the joke. Ha 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 ha. But you are like, I mean, not a Yankee, but you're out there where they hang out. They bleed into it. Area.
I mean, I'm a as far as Southerners are concerned, I'm a Yankee. As far as New Yorkers are concerned, fuck the Yankees.
Amen. Woo!
It is what it is.
Oh, God. Baseball season's starting up soon. Are you ready for a 60-game season?
I don't know.
And then they're doing 3 divisions.
Are they going to be indoor? Are they all being played in Florida?
No. They're going to be played
Arizona.
at it's going to be really small stadiums with nobody in the attendance, basically.
Yep.
And it's like going to be all like hubbed on like whatever coast or division area you'd be in. And I'm going to go over this really quick, guys. It's just but this is what they're doing. It's going to be a 60-game season.
That would be a hell of a matchup.
An expanded playoff roster. And if it goes into extra innings, there's going to be a runner on second base immediately.
I love it.
They're going to do softball rules, basically.
I love anything that changes the game. It makes it interesting.
Right. Well, it's only for this season because of their ridiculous situation that they're in.
Well, we'll see.
Popular things stick around.
I saw a really beautiful tweet today. It said, in 2017, the Dodgers went 51-9 in a 60-game span. And I was like, I'm ready for baseball.
In 2021?
Yeah. But then for anybody that cares, Dave Roberts came and said that we're going to have like a 4-inning limit in the beginning. And it's like, oh, shit. He's going to have to manage is what you're telling me?
4-inning limit? Oh, per pitcher? Or
yeah, he's going to do that. It's like, we're going to pull them regardless. And it's like, you. Hate you. I mean, he's a good guy. I want to share a couple things before we start talking about a whole bunch of junk.
What are you doing? Who cuts an apple like this?
Who does cut an apple like this? Anyway, I'm going to share the screen so that you can see our prototype page of Nerd Grocery, everybody.
Oh, dip.
This would be a place.
Is this why you have Ken in the building?
No, we're not saying that. But yes. You mean McDraw?
Sorry, I get confused over how many layers of obscurity we need to have.
So speaking of obscurity, we just want everybody to want these, and we're going to get our shop up together so that you can actually get these done on demand for a limited time.
That's
and these are knockoffs of some classic stuff.
Pretty limited. Oh, look
some
at that.
Stuff that we're allowed to do.
Cherry.
And some stuff that, you know what, so many other comic stores do bullshit. Why can't we?
Sure.
So there's knockoffs of original stuff, like let's say this one. Do you know what album this is? Anybody?
Yeah,
that's a Sonic Youth classic. I don't know the name of the album.
Is it Goo? Is that the one?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And this is not actually the original wording, and of course it's redrawn by Quick Draw. But it's very reminiscent. And yeah, you can buy these. Actually, let me show you how.
That's very reminiscent of Cherry Pop-Tart right down there. Oh, yes. Colors.
Yeah, look at that. I gotta get that on white for sure.
Yeah, you gotta get that on white. I mean, I hate a white T-shirt personally, but yeah, that's the white.
That's the one. Just to show you how awesome you are.
I gotta
get that.
Go down to the bottom, all the way to the bottom. Yeah, bottom left.
Oh, bottom left. Oh,
yeah,
this is a
Farrell Dalrymple Poachy on the chair.
Dalrymple, and it's beautiful. He's at his fluffiest, but his cleanest at this moment.
Oh, Poach.
Except for his face, of course, because he has to shove his face in to eat.
Into everything, yeah.
Into everything, because he's got that kind of a nose.
Face. That's not his fault.
No, it's not. He's
reading.
Yeah, it wasn't a good move.
That was, hundreds of years ago. You can't blame him for that.
And then this one is a really cute one. This is Vincent Kakua did this.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one.
And,
I remember that from the clock.
Yeah. And then, of course, it has all this comic book stuff in it. Shh. Don't worry. Half those people are probably canceled anyway,
perps.
So it's
got
okay.
The perps.
Yeah.
Thank God.
This one's cool. This was by Kago. I can't remember what his first name is or last name, however it goes. But yeah, this was a good one. This is he does what he does is he draws some of his drawings that he does, he will replicate, so you have like an idea of, he has a form, if you will, so that you can get something made. And this is what Quick Draw shows. And this one's a good one.
Oh, the Fantastic Pochi. I have that shirt already. I actually own one of the prototypes.
Yeah, we paid Creota Wilberg. What she does is she does comic book zines that are educational and about keeping, like she has one about keeping yourself fit for like a comic book artist. Someone that has to sit at the table for a long time. It's all about posture and your wrist and how you're supposed to hold it and stuff like that. And she also had one called the Anatomy of Bond, and she'd take like different James Bond classic pictures, and she'd isolate parts of the body and just show the muscle striations and the musculature and all the stuff that goes in. And so that's what this is. And you might not be able to read it, but it says he may have bigger muscles, but dogs have 3 sets of pectorals. And the original picture
that
would be
incredible bulk.
Yeah, take that. And so those are some Pochi ones. Here's a cool Gizmo one. I don't know. We were talking about the Misfits just a moment ago.
Yeah.
If you're,
let me ask you this:
Hilarious.
What happened to the incredible Hulk Obama smash?
I think that was a cease and desist. I'm not sure.
All right, fair enough.
This was one of our first shirts. Ryan Alexander Tanner, a very good friend of mine, did that for free.
A great one. Classic. Love it.
And it looks good on other colors. Like that.
It'll look good on you.
Yeah. And then this is another one
We're
that we got from Farrell
really
Dalrymple.
dicey territory in a second.
And he's an amazing artist that has done stuff like the Wrenchies and Pop Gun War.
And this one's totally legal.
And it's totally legal.
You will never get arrested wearing this shirt. Then no one will ever come up to you and say, "Hey, do you own the copyright to this artwork?"
I have the original image, and we could
Are
do
you
it
John
really
Romita
fancy.
Jr.? Are you John Romita? And you'll say no.
No.
I'm not.
No. Farrell actually did it with Fantastic Comics, so maybe we'll try and get it so that it looks just like that original one, or maybe that will be a special giveaway.
I had that one in the sky blue. Remember that?
Sky
so
blue,
good.
that was the best way to get it, if you ask me. Anyway, that was something.
But wait, you didn't point out the one. There's one other
I did
one.
all of them. This one.
No, go up. That one right in the middle there.
That one, my baby.
Yeah.
Not legal, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Hey, just pump them out quick.
If you ask
quick
me,
and dirty.
get it that way.
There's not enough people listening to this that it will be a problem. I don't think. Just do it quick and dirty. Don't worry about it. Don't tell anybody. Get it, love it, live it.
This is also a beta test, so don't expect anything coming your way.
Yes, if you're a beta cuck, you should buy this shirt and wear it.
No, you should get it in this color if you are.
test.
That will let us know.
Ooh, I love that one, actually.
We can control you just a little bit more than others.
I want that one.
One of my favorite covers of all time is this one. And I told Eugene, he's all, or Quick Draw. I didn't have to do
here
that.
we go.
We had to do Quick Draw
for it.
Told Quick Draw that he's like, no, we have to change something a little bit, and I'm like, just put our words on it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, hell yeah. Or you could have reversed it. It would be almost imperceptible, probably.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea actually. Anyway, that's something we're working on. It kind of answers some of the questions that ATN had for us last week.
Yes.
And ta-da!
Yeah. You get those seeds.
All right, most importantly, I know everybody wants to know if we're going to have new comic books tomorrow. And as far as comic books that came out last week, yes, we are. And we also have the other comics that are coming out this week, but don't expect any Marvel or any DC in that. So what you're going to see is stuff from last week. Unfortunately, we didn't get our entire order. Unfortunately, we're scrambling to make sure we can fill just the people who have pull lists. So if you don't have a pull list, you might be SOL. And you also might take this as there's very few comics coming out. So if there's something that you want to make sure you get, you know what I mean? Don't come to me. But I mean, come to me because I want to help you out. It just might be a little bit more difficult than usual. Anyhow, I shouldn't be saying that as much. Sorry. We have new comics coming out, and I have a little video. So let me show you that also. I'll do that. And we can talk over this one. There's no reason to. So you're going to see a lot of stuff that's been out the last couple weeks because, like, we know there isn't a whole lot of stuff coming out. And A Man Among Ye, that's an Image comic book. I just read that. All America Comics is coming out tomorrow. Angel and Spike and Buffy, which you'll see. None of this is new except for Batman Beyond. All right, you're noticing I don't have Batman 93. It's a true statement. I'm expecting it to come in. We're waiting for word. I did a video not too long ago, and in it we were kind of just talking about how I've been effed about, getting new books because Diamond's been kind of like screwing the pooch. And another comic store reached out and said, let me know what you need on those Batmans. And I'm like, awesome. Devil's Highway by Benjamin Piercy. I don't have a lot, but he does Wolverine and other stuff that's good. Empire, that's number 0 of the Avengers issue.
Who did that for you?
Say what?
Who did that for you?
Yeah,
I got the it's called I got the page. I'll show you guys in a sec.
Okay.
Awesome.
I fully expected to. Of course, I restarted my computer, so I have to go and find it on Twitter.
Boomer.
It's restarting his computer. Hulk comes out. That's Immortal Hulk. That's a Captain America Marvel shot, so Justice League's not coming out. Negan Lives, everybody.
Ludocrats, what's that about?
Kieran Gillen in about 5 issues. Negan Lives. That was a special comic, everybody.
Not to me.
Not to me.
Psycho
more
drama.
Gilbert Hernandez.
I love Gilbert Hernandez.
Red Sonja. Killing Red Sonja.
Usually love Gilbert Hernandez.
Oh, the art in Killing Red Sonja. I'm so sad I bought those books.
Oh.
Yeah. Suicide Squad's been pretty good. I love Teen Titans.
Turtles obviously has been great.
Sophie Campbell does, Turtles.
Yeah.
Vampirella by Christopher Priest.
What?
Yeah, he's been doing it since issue 1.
Wow.
Wonder Woman. I got a whole bunch of back issues.
Not going to get me to read Vampirella. Sorry.
These are all
sorry, Priest. I love you, Priest, but
I read some of them. They're pretty good, actually. I've never really read. I've never been into Vampirella. I got to admit. So, anyway, I almost said it again. Quick Draw. Why don't you show us some of your previous art that you did before the show? On that iPad. Oh wait, what's this? Pfeiffer Catwoman.
Right. Make his big.
Michelle.
Yeah, let's do
Yes.
that. Boom. Show us some of your artwork, and if anybody in chat is interested, maybe he'll draw something. Can you guess what that is?
The Martian Manhunter.
Son of a. Very good. Very
Come
good.
on.
Martian Manhunter.
It's obvious.
Can you tell who this is?
Yeah. That's the Beatles.
Wait.
But Ringo is standing right behind. Oh, close enough. Come on. Who cares? The difference between the Monkees and the Beatles is purely academic.
Really?
Yeah, they're virtually the exact same thing.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah, when I see Paul McCartney, I'm like, yes, that guy is the fucking Peter Tork of the Beatles. Woo! Good on you.
Let's see.
What are we seeing?
Michelle Pfeiffer, I
Is he
think.
doing any more?
I don't know.
Well, I can't see while I look
Gave
for
up.
this.
Oh, he's got a pen.
He's got a pen.
It is indeed indeed mightier than the sword.
All right, so the comic store that said hit me up is named Funny Business, and it's in Nyack, New York.
I've been there. Nyack.
Really?
Yeah, I've been there.
Funny Business, everybody.
I've not been to Funny Business. I've been to Nyack.
Oh.
Sorry.
If you want to watch the video...
That's still pretty impressive if you've been to Nyack.
If you want to watch the video that I was in that talks about that, you can click that link right there.
Click what link?
It's in the chat. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I see it, but I can't click it because...
Well, you don't need to worry about that.
Links don't allow for clicking, apparently.
You know, so we got our shipment in. Everything's wonderful. I felt pretty good about things. You know, we're going to get our first lunar order, which is DC only. We got our other accounts set up. We're squared away with all our bills as far as that's concerned. So, you know, things are going pretty well. There's not really anything to bitch about. But I did want to point out something that I saw on Twitter from Jared of OK Comics. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
I don't know. What?
Oh, shit. Sorry, guys.
Is that in Oklahoma?
All right. So OK Comics has been open for 2 weeks, and he has this thread.
Where are they?
Does it really matter?
I mean, sort of.
Well, we'll find out.
In terms of opening things up,
I'll take a look. Well, no, I mean, I'm going to guess right off the top. Maybe we're looking at Oklahoma, maybe. I have no idea. Anyway,
that was my assumption when I saw OK.
But the thing is they're talking about having just reopened after a lockdown, and there's this long thread, and I'm just pointing this out so you can see it. Now we don't have to read it anymore. Okay. The thing is that they're talking about how customers, just aren't coming in like it used to be. Obviously, it's going to happen, and we've seen a lot of that also, where there isn't as many people coming in. Obviously, Jeff has to throw customers out because there's so many coming in.
No. That's not why I'm throwing.
You're not throwing them out. Your boss is.
We're throwing them out because they're coming in without a mask, not because there's too many of them. There's never been too many of them. I mean, we're making about half the amount of money that we need to break even so far, and that's just with a 5-person staff. So, half-price books in Berkeley is not destined to survive this experience.
Not with that rent. Oh my God.
Exactly.
If you're in all right, so
Leeds?
Is that where it is in Leeds?
Yeah,
Good
but
job.
it doesn't say what the country is, and I mean Americans name stuff after other stuff all the time.
Oh, I know. When I heard somebody was from
That would be my
Dublin
guess.
and it was in California, it blew my mind. But of course, why would
Hey, when I heard someone was from
Memphis?
Pittsburgh and it was in California, it blew my mind.
Oh yeah, Paris, Texas, all that
Like
stuff.
you can't even.
What's it like in Paris, Texas?
Oh, that's your brother. Apparently, that's a picture of your brother as a dog.
Okay, very good.
Go big. Go big, at least for a minute.
Yeah, if you have a request for Quick Draw McGruber to draw something, put it in the chat. I mean, I see a lot of stuff. You could just go for like this pipe and whatnot stuff. Oh wait, maybe they are doing that. You got to read the chat, Quick Draw. I'm not gonna.
He's got
I'm not gonna do it for you.
I mean, I think that's his job right now.
He's not quick read. He's
draw,
quick draw
and to and then consult chat when he's done.
I see. Try and keep it
PG-13.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could do all that doobie stuff.
That.
Oh, is that? Oh, I guess that's what it is. Anyway, very good.
That's pretty good.
Wait. Let me get that. Hold on a
That was
second.
a pretty good likeness.
Let's get that one more time.
You would say. No, we're on to the next page.
We're on to the next one. It
we're
really
on a
doesn't
blank
matter.
page.
Okay, very good.
Forget it.
He doesn't do that. Okay. So, we got comic books. Come on in tomorrow. And that's basically what that thread was all about. It was like, hey, come on in. If you weren't
Please.
thinking of coming in,
Yeah.
but somebody wants something, maybe come in and get something for them. Get someone into something. It's real hard right now for for spending for stuff that you don't need. And when you have a massive amount of rent that's due, like we were already moving before this, This didn't. People come in, they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Don't be sorry. I'm so happy. Oh, instead of a bunch of people, coming in without masks, there's nobody not coming in without a mask. It's all residential, and there's a couple people, but it's not with the mass quantity of 4 blocks away. And I hate to be like, oh, it's so wonderful, but the only thing I need is a little bit more customers is all.
Spending a couple hours there one afternoon was plenty to let me know that, yes, it's much better over there.
What are you doing to your microphone, please?
My microphone?
Yeah,
Somebody's
are you hitting it? Are you,
I mean, I may have been touching it.
whatever that is, yeah.
It's very noticeable.
Hold on a second. I'll
I'm
just
not
mute
doing-
him. All right. It's back. Oh, yeah, you keep touching it. Is your cord touching something?
No, I'm not
Are
doing
you jostling something?
I was messing with my camera, but not my microphone.
Let's see. That looks
As you
like
can see,
a
yeah, so there's the bottom of my head.
this looks like a Rick and Morty drawing or something like that. Anyway.
Give him a
Jeff, I have a
cigarette.
feeling your computer is using the pickup on your webcam and not your microphone right now. Not something that needs to be worried about, but I think that's what's going on.
Oh, crazy.
So you're probably gonna have to manually
I
go
see.
in and have it prefer to use a different microphone, and it'll always select your mic permanently. All right.
All right. Jeff, did you read any comic books last week?
Ooh, hold on.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I know you said you didn't. All right. Oh, there you are. I can't hear you. Can you mute and unmute yourself again? Now say something. Oh, I can't hear you. Can you hear him?
No, he's.
Hey, Jeff, leave the room and come back in, and then I'll put you in.
I'm sorry I mentioned it.
No, I think it was my fault. Oh, maybe it's not.
Well, I mean, I've
Oh, I
seen
can hear
this. I've seen the serial.
You sound great. Well, I mean, you sound.
Nilla wafers make a cereal?
They
Gonna
do
want to
now.
do that with bananas. Yeah, baby.
That
Oh, wait,
sounds
it's
good.
already banana flavored? That's gross.
Well, what do you think Nilla wafers are?
They're not
Vanilla?
banana flavored.
You don't
They're
think they're banana flavored?
No, they're
No.
vanilla flavored.
you put them in vanilla. In banana pudding, but
No, never mind.
They
I
are
don't know why. I don't.
it's like
I
a
was just
pocket
going with it.
basically.
I mean, it's in the name.
Duh. Yeah, it is.
It should be apostrophe Nilla if it's not. It should be.
Mm.
Yul Brynner.
The va is implied.
Oh, see, there you go.
Does it
Yeah,
have
it's the
marshmallows?
mukbang aspect of it.
Great.
Does it have marshmallows in there?
Yeah.
Now he
That's
has
good
lung
then.
cancer because he smoked a Nilla wafer.
Oh, with banana flavoring.
That's right. Yeah, it was the banana flavoring that done did it.
All right, so there was a there was a wrestling angle where they were talking about banana juice, And, we've looked up banana juice because, what kind of juice does a banana make, Have you ever squeezed a banana? It's not much juice, right?
Well,
I
no,
have.
but it's it's very mushy, so
It is.
You take a very little amount
All right.
of liquid to make a banana juice.
But there is banana juice. It's more
Fill
like
a
an extract,
So, like, have you ever made banana bread where you just smash up a bunch of bananas?
Yeah,
And
old
then
ones.
maybe you did that like an hour or 2 hours before you actually got to mixing those ingredients in. There's a fluid that'll separate out of the starch of bananas, and it is very like a syrup, like a juice, right? A banana juice.
Yeah, but I mean, if you took like 2 bananas and put them in a blender and then poured like a quarter of a cup of milk in there, you would blend that
Smoothie.
up, and that would be banana. What I would consider banana juice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you're juicing fruit, you're usually just throwing it into a blender. And then what comes out is.
I miss the smoothie guy in downtown Berkeley.
Me
Oh
too.
God, so do I. Yeah, that guy was the best. He's been gone for years.
I know, but like I remember coming back after at some point in time I was visiting Yule up at the comic book store, and he led me over there and got like this strawberry banana thing, and like
Ooh.
I got one, and I was, it was
strawberry nut ones.
I guess that must have been it.
Almond, with the almond milk or nut,
Or
any kind of nut
really
milk.
good. It was really good.
And I get wheatgrass.
Oh,
so good.
A shot of wheatgrass on the side. Yeah, that was Yule's shit.
What does that taste like to you?
It's horrible.
Mowing the lawn.
Okay, thank you.
But it's supposed to be good for your gums and teeth.
You know,
and
when you
stuff
mow
like
the
that.
lawn and you're just inhaling, mowing the lawn and the bag
weeds.
is full.
No weeds. It'd be different if there were weeds. Anyhow. All right, I wanted to let everybody know. So I was in on a video, and it was all about how DC is doing like a digital. They have a digital initiative, and we've been talking about stuff like that. So if you ever want to see the video, you can go to there and see it. It's in the chat. I'm not going to talk about that. What I'm going to talk about is the fact that I bought that comic book. One time I bought a digital comic. Almost all my other digital comics are because of freebies or codes and comic books that were ruined and stuff like that.
Do you have a tablet?
I do.
Okay.
It's in the other room.
Okay.
I do. I also have a phone, obviously, depending on what you want to use. It's
Screen's too small on a phone.
It is, but whatever. People use their phone for every other thing, so why not?
In desperation.
Well, it's true.
That's why phones are getting bigger, right?
So I bought a comic book, and it was 99 cents, and it was that Harley Quinn comic book. It's going to be a 14-issue series. It's only going to be digitally, and each issue is going to be by a different creator or creative team. This one is by Sepjan Sijic. I don't know how to say that name right there.
He's the porno guy.
He's the porno guy. He works for Top Cow. He's done a lot of things like Swing and
Sunstone. That's his
Sunstone with his wife. And I hear it's a very interesting scene. Those people over at Top Cow. Let's just say that. And he did this.
Wait. Let's not just say that. Can we say a little?
Well, that's what I hear. I'm not involved. What if you're you're hanging out with the Septics and they're like
you and Sylvester Septics.
Hey Jeff. Hey Steph. Want to come back to my place and get some drinks? What do you say? When Seption Cedric and his wife say, "Why don't you come back for drinks?"
Probably no. Sorry. Septic, whatever.
If I could pronounce your name, I might consider it.
Even then, I don't think so. Like, I've thumbed through his comics.
I think they're pretty good-looking people, if that makes a difference. It's not like, you know how like the idea of a nude beach is really awesome, but the reality isn't.
Right.
You
Well,
know.
also, like, he clearly is, like, you know, he's into S&M type stuff that I'm not, that, like, you know, that's not really my scene.
No, I understand.
Personally, you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's kink stuff, you know.
maybe
whatever.
that's just one side of him, and I have pigeonholed him based on that one book. That's possible, but nevertheless, when he did that like Black Label Harley Quinn book, I flipped through it and I was like, this isn't erotic at all. The hell are you doing?
Right.
I don't know.
This
Like
one
he
is
can
not
he can
either.
do he can clearly do non-erotic art. I mean he did that like fantasy comic for a while. What was that one?
Oh, he did Rat Queens for like a
Yeah,
hot
Rat
minute.
Queens. Yeah, Rat Queens. That's the
Yeah.
one.
It was really good. He's a good artist. He's very
That's
digital,
only
obviously.
like that's only vaguely sexy. Yeah, oh yeah, he's very digital.
So the whole concept of this series is that a different person's going to be taking a look at Harley Quinn. And the reason why it's black, white, and red is because Batman Black and White was a long-running series that did this gimmick. And, of course, she's Harley Quinn. She has, like, that splash of red all over.
Oh, so this is an anthology series?
It's an anthology that's going to be 14 issues long.
And
it's all digital.
One issue per team or
Yes.
artist or whatever?
Yeah, nothing continuing.
Just all a series of one-shots. So, like Batman Black and White.
Right, exactly. So if you're interested, that's 99 cents. And you can get that. It's a pretty good story. I liked it. You can't get it physically, so if you're a Harley Quinn fan, you have to get it that way.
Yeah.
Or you have to wait until a trade is over or coming out. This is going to be a monthly series.
They'll undoubtedly produce a physical copy.
Mm-hmm. I would assume so.
I mean, they usually do with that type of stuff.
Oh, darn. That was going to have a banner. Anyway, let's get to our topic of conversation. I don't have anything specifically.
What does that mean?
I just wanted to talk about it because I thought we could get something out of it. There have been actually a few things that have been coming out lately, and it screws with continuity, and I thought, maybe we could get something. Such as? Yeah. Well, a very successful version of something like that would be X-Men, House of X, Powers of X. They're taking a minute look at, continuity, and they're expanding upon it. So I think the success of that series is a lot due to the fact that Hickman is playing into the history of the X-Men. He's doing that whole Moira extra lives thing, but on each life you kind of have to figure out where it goes with the history of the team and how one event maybe leads to another thing. It's very detailed, and in the store, we've had a lot of people that, and even not even in the store, but even in the country, key issues that lead to House of X Powers of 10 have gone up in price. People have been really hot for those things. And
what kinds of key issues? For instance,
simply like the first appearance of Moira, the first appearance of Sinister, Mr. Sinister. It's usually key issues like that, and then it goes from there. But I can't think of
characters who are getting like some sort of a major glow up in this new reality.
You sound better right now, by the way.
Okay, I haven't changed anything in a long time.
Whatever you did just now, it's much better.
I didn't do anything just now. I took a sip of water.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, don't worry. It's just a miracle.
Holy water. Could be that my next sip turns it all around. Erases the progress we've made. Who knows?
Let's hope not.
Anyway, my question was, I don't know. I don't know what my question
All
was.
right, well, how about this?
Continue with what you were saying.
A lot of people think that the best Superman story is what? Who says what is the best Superman story? Can you think of any?
Who
off the top
says
of your
what
head?
is the best
Yeah,
Superman
that's-
story? I do.
They, whoever they is, the mass quantities of people that know stuff. Not Doomsday, but in my store, let's say, who are the people that would like? What's the best Superman?
I can only tell you what my favorite.
All right, what's your favorite Superman? Best Superman of all time.
All-Star Superman.
All-Star Superman, not in continuity.
Correct.
Correct.
Superman Birthright.
Not
Hardly or today.
well, it's
not in continuity.
It's a reinterpretation so that it updates it for today's time.
Even at the time, it wasn't completely in continuity. It was kind of a weird outlier that was like, okay, we're going to say this is in continuity, I guess. We're not really going to address it. It's just like when Jeff Johns was writing Superman and he like reimagined Brainiac and reimagined Bizarro. Like he was not changing continuity, but he was presenting newer versions of these characters that were already had a continuity.
Mm-hmm.
And like this is going back to way back before, before the New 52 and everything. So like, I don't know, continuity to me has always been very slippery and unimportant. Like my favorite Superman stories are for the most part out of continuity, as I just established, because both of those are pretty much out. And then you got I don't know, what else do I really like? My favorite Green Lantern story is out of continuity. It's that J.M. DeMatteis and Seth Fisher Will World. That's out of continuity.
That's an Elseworlds, right?
I don't even know if it is technically.
Yeah, well, it might be
because I think that was the post Elseworlds when they weren't really doing Elseworlds. They weren't calling them Elseworlds, but they were still doing that same kind of book occasionally.
Well, but we've seen it in television where things are continuity based, or how about this? Think of stuff like the X-Files. You were into the X-Files at one time, right?
Oh yeah, at a couple of different times.
And although maybe some of our favorite episodes are those that are like not, important to the main story, it's that main story, it's that continuity that that kind of brings you back to the party, right?
I mean, that's what I thought when I used to watch the show when I was younger. But in rewatching it a few years ago, I found that, in fact, that continuity and that mythology stuff is actually the weakest link on the X-Files. And the Monster of the Week episodes are, for the most part, the better episodes. Like, yes, there's something to be said that you want to follow that, like, progressing storyline, but they didn't do a great job with it, like, overall. In rewatching the show and watching them all, like, much more consistently, like, I wouldn't say I binged the whole series, but I was, like, I would sit down and watch 3 or 4 episodes at a time. And I definitely found that those were no longer my favorite. Like that stuff was just not as satisfying because they couldn't ever give you satisfaction on it. It's the same thing with Lost. Like they can't give you satisfaction. The show is about withholding satisfaction, and like you have to take your pleasures from the the parts that are not about giving you closure, because they're never going to actually give you that.
Well, think about all right, so recently...
There's a Ninja Turtle in the house.
Oh, watch out. So think about like Immortal Hulk. That was playing on all of these past iterations of the Hulk.
Yes.
And, kind of addressing the situation. What it did was it not only advanced the story in such a way so that you can accept something different, but it also played homage to the things that have gone before it. And since they were, integral to like the story, again, people got a little crazy for old Hulk issues and interested in it. And I really like when things like that happen.
But I wouldn't say that was necessarily like continuity based. Like it was just about referencing old shit that happened. But I don't remember it being like.
Look at how Donny Cates, like everything that he's written for Marvel basically ties into everything he's written. And it's like, it doesn't matter if it's Thanos or
I mean, that's not new. That's not new. People have always done that. Like where they're just like, this is my shit that I'm writing. And I mean, even Chris Claremont did that all the time.
Yeah. Peter David also.
Yeah, I'm writing this book. So it's just like, oh, guess who's going to show up? One of my favorite characters that I created from that other book that I've been writing forever. Imagine that. Or all of them.
All right, so what about when it goes bad? Do you care? I mean, you're already okay with Elseworlds. You're okay with the best of stories. Is there a time when continuity has let you down? Whether it's because of mainstream, a different person coming on and not adhering to the past, or maybe they're taking something that happened a little too literally, or maybe they're just saying F it altogether, and you know what? If you liked it, too bad. I'm going to make it the way it has to be now.
Yeah. No,
case in
I'm
point.
totally fine with all of that.
Really? Even when it's like, when everybody's happy.
Whatever you're going to say, yes.
You know what I'm going to say.
I don't care.
Can you read my mind?
Nope. You're going to say the Avengers, something that Bendis did. Probably.
Yeah, I am going to say something that Bendis did. Yeah, so
I don't
recently...
care. Even if it's something that John Byrne did, where he just recreated all of Superman history and made it stupid in a way that I did not care for. Like, he's got to be the only last Kryptonian, and every other super person no longer exists. Except when we have the weird gelatinous Supergirl Matrix person. Anyway... My point is, I don't care about any of that. I am a student of Grant Morrison's Hypertime, which says that all stories exist. Everything that is ever published by a comic book company is a thing that happened at some point in space-time, and no one dimension or universe is more important than another. And so, like, if a story is published that contradicts another story that was previously published, that's fine with me. I don't care. I really don't care.
What if it's not a mainstream book and it's all done by the creator? And they are just not adhering to the rules that they originally set up. Yeah, it's their thing that they can do with whatever they want, but... again, is it important? Is it good that they adhere to, strict to their rules, that type of stuff?
That's only for them to say whether or not that's important.
Well, that's not true. I mean, I've gone to college.
Important.
When they write it, it doesn't fucking matter afterwards. It's what I think.
No. Sure. Well, yeah. No, that's also true in the words of Tenacious D. It's also true. But I don't think that matters because, like, I don't know. To me, it doesn't. I don't know. To me, it doesn't matter. Like, if someone... give me an example of a... Like, because usually when you're talking about continuity, you're talking about serial things that are written by a bunch of different people over a long period of time. Like, when I talk about continuity with Star Trek fans... And like, what is canon and what's not canon, and you're talking about like dozens and dozens of writers over dozens and dozens of years. Like in comics, is even more time and more writers. And like, it's impossible to think that you could keep it all straight. And to me, that's an exercise that is just taking away from the creative potential of the medium. Like, why do you even care about that? I get that some people do, and that's fine. I just don't understand why they care about it. Like, well, I mean, I wouldn't care if every issue of Superman from one to the next did not ever, like, if it was like a cartoon where there was just no continuity. Like are the Looney Tunes not good? There's no continuity to the Looney Tunes. Is there? I don't think so. Does Bugs Bunny change, grow, learn things? Does he ever reference things that happened in another Warner Brothers cartoon? I don't think so.
Yeah.
And yet, Bugs Bunny is great.
ATN, what do you think about this? Anything? Do you not care? You don't think about it? Does Blade Runner 2024 or whatever the hell the number is, does it connect with the original one?
It's better than the original.
Close enough.
I
don't know why it has to be better or worse. I mean,
what about the alien stuff?
It's not. I just like it more.
What about the alien stuff? I got to admit, I haven't watched every single one, but when Ridley Scott, the original creator, comes back and does that Promethea one, all I've heard about is how horrible it is, So I don't really care to watch it because I hear it sucks. But, it's supposed to be before what we originally saw. And, those are moments when, we've seen, the creators. And I mean, what about Jurassic Park? That dude's back live? Come on, man. Hey, don't do that.
What about Jurassic Park?
No, I'm just what's his name? Jeff
Steven
Goldblum.
Spielberg.
He's alive in the second movie, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Cash grab there. I'm just thinking of the books and how it doesn't play. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There's at least another example of when. The Star Trek fans are Star Trek fans. You can't control how ravenous a fan base is going to be. They're going to pay attention to
continuity and consistent application of canon facts that have been established.
Dude, William Shatner was in that SNL skit a long time ago. About get a life.
Get a life, will you, people? Yeah,
but it hasn't deterred them.
Today, I don't agree with him so much. Jeez.
Hey, man.
I agreed with
broken clock and all that, right?
Somebody wrote that for him, but
hey, you guys still deliver it with. I think there was some stank on that.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. That was legit. That was legit.
There you go. Even if Coffee Junkie couldn't handle Enterprise, there's a problem. Let me tell you.
Well, see, here's the problem with Enterprise. Enterprise.
Which one's Enterprise?
Enterprise is the first one that went backwards. That was a prequel.
Scott Bakula?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bakula, it's the one that's about the very beginning of Starfleet and the Federation.
I was interested in the very beginning because they were very racist, and it was very interesting to see how racist they were. And I thought that was it was interesting. But then, immediately at the end, the beginning of the second season, end of first season, it fell apart.
Conceptually, it's not entirely without merit, but the execution was very bad.
It wasn't great. But, we put up with a lot because we want to watch Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt the same way about Discovery, where I was like, I don't want to go back in time again. I don't want to keep going back in time. But that show won me over in a way that Enterprise not.
Is Discovery the one that's ongoing?
Yeah, season 3 is going to be coming soon. But it was previously a prequel, and now season 3 is going into the future.
Is it behind a paywall?
Spoiler alert. Yeah. Oh, dude. All of Star Trek is about to be behind a paywall.
I don't like paywalls.
The good shit is all on Netflix right now. TNG.
I saw that.
And all that stuff that's on Netflix is leaving Netflix and going to be exclusively on CBS All Access.
Oh yeah, and all sorts of stuff is going exclusive with HBO. And it's a crazy world. There's a lot of anyhow. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with entertainment as far as that's concerned. I haven't watched Discovery.
You know
yet.
what I started watching was Tales of the Loop. I think it's an Amazon Prime show. It's like a, what do they call those? Anthology show. But all the stories are sequentially linked. And the first 2 or 3 were pretty good. Third and fourth, fifth one, I don't remember. They're not nearly as good. But I think you need to watch them all in order to understand something at the end, because they seem like completely covering each other.
Well, what about
Is this the Tales from the Loop?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Well, what about when
I've heard
something
good things about it.
is continuity based, like like a mystery, right, or something? You have to pay attention to what's going on. You can't just like, so what? I mean, that's minutia.
Unless it's episodic. If it's episodic, then the mystery is wrapped. I mean, look at Murder, She Wrote, man.
Or don't look at Holmes. He was so smart that of course you didn't notice what he was seeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes time to describe how the crime is solved, like, it's been withheld from you by a good writer. So
is that cool?
Why not?
Well, you say by a good writer, but is that good? I mean,
do you
if
like
I can actually
Sherlock
show
Holmes?
it to you and you don't realize it, isn't that better?
Well, do you like Sherlock Holmes?
I don't read a lot of mysteries, I gotta admit. But I watch those. I watch the things,
The things?
The Things.
No, I don't know.
I'm more of well, Jill puts on she puts on like Miss Marple. She's all right.
Okay. You have an example there, because like different people have played those characters, right?
Oh, you know what I'm watching a lot of right now is Frank and Gracie.
Mm-hmm.
Grace and
As
Frankie.
whatever.
I mean, whatever.
That's what we're watching right now. Anyway, no, yeah, we watch those mysteries sometimes. What's the one, the British show that we watch that you do too?
Midsummer.
Dr. Hugh.
Midsummer.
I watched 19 seasons of that show. I realize I have spent a significant amount of time on it.
There you go, everybody. Midsummer. There's only 4 episodes a season, mostly.
What?
Especially at the end. 6. That's not a lot.
They're still an hour and a half long.
They are. We were watching like 2 at a time, and I'm like, I don't remember what happened to that other one.
No. They're so easy to forget.
It's ridiculous. Hell.
In a way, it's because
there you go, Prime Suspect. That's a sequential one. Well, I mean, old. 3rd season or 4th season's coming out soon.
What, Prime Suspect? They're remaking it?
Wait, is it Prime Suspect? I don't
know.
The
Suspect
HBO
was
one.
Helen Mirren from a long time ago.
Oh, I'm thinking the HBO one. What's that one called? Something. It doesn't matter.
Something.
So, hey, we have new comics coming out tomorrow. Isn't that exciting, everybody? Have we talked this to death? I don't know. I nobody is as into like fighting about it. So anyway, here's the deal. Bendis is he took over Superman. He changed everything. He made everything different, and now Superman is going to be leading the Authority. What do you think about that, Jeff? Have you heard this? That he's going to be leading the Authority?
I haven't, but what I think about it is, ugh.
Do you like Superman? Do you like reading Superman?
I have not read a single issue of Bendis.
Mm-hmm. I've seen.
I also got very dissatisfied with the Tomasi Gleason run at the end. Like the last volume was not my cup of tea. But here's the thing about Superman. I want to like Superman comics. I always do, because like when I was a kid, Superman was one of the comics that my dad would give me. Like when I didn't buy comics and was too young to buy my own comics, and just was like, my dad didn't care about comics. He just would buy me Batman and Superman. That was what was on the spinner rack at the fucking dime store or whatever. But I will always want to like Superman, but oftentimes, it's just not there.
Short.
Yeah, it often falls short. I give it a shot, and then I'm like, no thanks. I'll try again later. Thanks, J. Michael Straczynski.
Yeah, I got to admit, I can't really blast Bendis so much because if I didn't read during the JMS stuff. I know you read it during this time, but I wasn't a fan of during the Ruckaturn at all.
Wait, which was the?
That was the one when they had like Nightbird or Nightwing and all that, and Sunbird or something like that.
Oh, right.
And all the extra Kryptonians, and I was like, again, this is like adding to continuity or taking from and extrapolating this stuff happening.
I was totally okay with that stuff. I felt like I enjoyed that run. Like that was cool. I always that's the other thing is that like I haven't read every Superman comic.
But all right, so here's another thing. I enjoy.
So I'm not like oversaturated with continuity, and like I don't need, and I just in general, I don't need stuff to be like, oh, he's referencing this thing from 65 years ago, but it's not exactly the same context as it was in that story from 65 years ago. So what the fuck? This is bullshit. I don't feel that way about anything.
Well, from a collector's point of view,
cool if you bring up something from 65 years ago, that's cool. Right. And also, from a collector's point of view, it will make that 65-year-old comic more valuable, if that's what you care about.
Well, it's not always like not everybody that has comic books cares when their comics, like that their comics are worth money. But when they find out that their comics are worth money, it adds to their pleasure. It gives them a second chance to enjoy what they have in a way that they never knew they were going to have necessarily. And it's even more special when it's something that shouldn't have been. It was just another issue. Nobody knew, but this happened. And it's like, oh yeah, look what I got. And everybody's like, oh my God. You got a rare alternate priced version of the same crappy comic book nobody cares about? Wow. Wow, you have a gem mint in the middle of your comic book? Wow, nobody cares about that crap. But there's not as many of them out there, or they fall out, and it's like, ooh. It can be the dumbest things. It can be the greatest things. A lot of times, again, because of continuity or paying attention to it, it makes those things a little bit more valuable at times. And it fuels, and it doesn't have to be comic books. It fuels interest in whatever that other thing might be. Oh wow, people care about the X-Men again. Oh wow, people care about this movie series again. Right. Yeah. A lot of times it's because they do change something, and then we went back to the drawing board. Kind of like that's what Hickman's X-Men really was. It was we're going to change this stuff and we're going to do all this crazy stuff, but at the same time, we're going to pay attention to everything, and it's going to all lead to what we're, the story that we're talking about. Do you think, okay, here's another aspect of continuity. Do you, in comic books, do you think that all of those other X-Men comic books, because, I know you were saying, I'm all in, and a lot of people were saying, I'm all in, but now people, as issues have gone on, are like, I'm not so sure if I care about Excalibur. Or maybe I only like Excalibur because of the characters, but I don't like X-Force. You're crazy if you don't like X-Force because
X-Force is one of the best. There were a couple that honestly, of the first batch, the only one that I didn't like was only 6 issues long.
Fallen Angels.
Yeah, I didn't. It was
Fallen Angels is like the worst miniseries Marvel ever put out.
There were no characters that I cared about. There were no plot lines that significantly tied into the overall House of X powers, like the relaunch. And the art I did not like either. So there was nothing there for me. and yet I bought all 6 issues because I was like, I'm here for the Head of X, Jonathan Hickman, Head of X.
I'm gonna share one comic book with you that comes out
But
tomorrow.
I just didn't care about it, and
and it will kind of tie into what we're talking about.
I only half care about Excalibur too, because just like how I don't care about Quanon, I also don't care about Betsy Braddock. Like, I don't care about either one of them.
Wait, let me stop sharing.
Either half of that previous Psylocke mix. I don't care. I just don't care.
I just don't care. Okay, do you care about this? This is a brand new Image comic that's coming out tomorrow.
Oh, is that America Chavez?
Speaking of continuity, Miss America Chavez was created by Joe Casey and Nick Dragotta in a miniseries called Vengeance that nobody cared about.
That was out of continuity until
right.
Until she came in.
Until she came into continuity. She was in continuity. She was effing Marvel Boy, wasn't she?
Well, yeah, but that was another book that was like in questionable continuity territory.
Well, she not only that, but Miss America Chavez comes from an alternate reality where everything is like.
So does Marvel Boy. Noah Var comes from an alternate universe.
Sure does.
Not from our. He ain't
going
from
back
here.
to Grant Morrison.
Yes.
All right. Well, this is All America Comics, and I didn't realize what I was looking at, but I knew that Joe Casey was involved. This is the back
Justin
cover.
Wynn.
Yeah. There's a lot of good people in here.
Joe Casey and Dustin Wynn. That's what I call a win-win.
That's right. I right off the bat, the thing I like about Joe Casey
is not like 100% batting average.
What? You're crazy.
He's doesn't exactly bat 1,000 in my. I mean, he's
all
good.
Right, well,
he's
if we're talking baseball, he's a 320 hitter, man. He might not hit home runs, but
nobody's sending him down to the minors. That's for sure.
I'd put him up first. Anyway, he does social media stuff really well.
Nobody can send him down to the minors because he started his own franchise.
And you can see it right there. Liked by Image Comics, Man of Action.
Yes.
And if you're a man of action, you're bulletproof, everybody, so remember that.
Well, I mean, you got
bulletproof.
Got money in the bank.
So here we're going to see the real version of Miss America Chavez, except she's called America Vasquez.
Now, see, I would think that the mouse might have a problem with this situation.
The mouse can bite this person because he's the creator. And you know what? Parody can last at least 3 issues, so what?
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah, well, in the very least.
Okay.
And I love the fact that she comes from La Puente. That's back where in my area. Yeah.
But wait, is she from this dimension?
I don't know. I didn't read it yet, but I'm really excited, and it comes out tomorrow. So if you want to stick it to Marvel, you should buy this. Anyway, yeah, there you go.
I mean, I love Dustin Wynn.
And I love Joe Casey. Godland's one of my all-time favorite comic books.
Oh my God! Yeah, I know.
There you go, La Puente.
We all know. Where's that picture of Joe Casey holding up a sign that says that you suck?
That's Joe Kelly that does that.
That's
Joe Kelly also is a man of action.
Man of action. the men of action just have it out for you.
No, Tyler had that happen.
Yeah, I know. But still, it happened.
Jill made me get rid of it. She's like, I don't like that one. Oh, no. Why did I do that?
Why change her name? Because technically Marvel owns America Chavez. So he had to. Even though he created her, he can't just go publishing his own America Chavez comics. I guess.
That's right. That's right. No, he can't. He just created it.
Yeah. He created it as a work for hire for Marvel Comics. They own America Chavez in total. That's what happens when you work for hire. That's why Image Comics was created.
And that's why you should buy Joe Casey Image comic books, because they're...
Please. He's got plenty of fucking Nickelodeon money.
No, it has nothing to do with supporting him.
Oh, I see.
All right, so...
putting a cigarette in the eye of the mouse. I agree with that.
Well, I always agree with that, too.
Yeah.
All right, I want to show you one other thing.
Oh, boy.
So this is a book called Bleed Them Dry. It comes from Vault Comics, and I want to let you know right off the top, pretty good artwork. What do you think of that?
It does look good, and I do like Vault.
This reminds me of like Stuart Immonen. He's like they're like one of those people.
Who's the artist?
Oh, let's find out. I don't know. Ray Hall.
I can't see. It's very small.
I don't know. This is in the time 3333, and there's like an investigation in Japan, and there's vampires, and...
Oh, you had me.
Until
I'm not
vampires.
gonna lie, you had me in the first half.
Anyway, this guy is this lady's partner. He tells her to, and then we have the chief like yelling at them like it's Dirty Harry or something like that. And then they even get served blood and coffee at the
Wait,
coffee
one of the
house.
cops is a vampire?
Yeah, the blonde guy.
Oh god.
Yeah, he sends her off. All right, so this doesn't really compel you, right?
No, but I have a bias. I'm prejudiced
About vampire stories. Well, I hear you. But the thing is I feel like a lot of Vault comic books are kind of like, the same. Like they have maybe some very passable art, maybe some very good art. And then they have these stories that are like, they got a concept, but it just feels like something I've either seen before or something I've seen before with a little wrinkle that really isn't that important to me. And at the end, there's a hook. It's fairly okay. But I'm not going to read another issue of it. And going back to Joe Casey, what he does is anything he wants. He's got Nickelodeon money, like Jeff says. And he can go to Marvel and DC anytime,
right,
but he's already... Say what?
You're cracking up. You're breaking up on me.
Oh, I'm breaking up on you. Okay.
You are, yeah.
I did not notice it.
Okay, well, we're going to hope.
You were
All right, so Joe Casey, what he does is he does a lot of different style of stories out there, whether it's superhero or space, definitely mushroomy, kind of weedy kind of stories also. And I think
remember that Butcher Baker Righteous Maker?
Oh, that one was
That was
awesome.
some wild shit. Like Huddleston.
All right, so when I fell in love with Joe Casey, it was when he did Majestic for Wildstorm, and number one, Eric Canetti was doing the artwork.
Whoa, I remember Eric Canetti and Joe Casey on that Iron Man thing.
Oh yeah, they do that too. Yeah, they've worked together.
What was?
You're breaking up on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jeff is. You should go back out and come back in.
Bye, Jeff. See you soon.
So, I'm going to just spit this out. Joe Casey, I really like his work a lot, and I think he's really good. And he does all sorts of like different type of stories. And when I was talking about that Majestic story, like, I fell in love with him. Majestic is like this Wildstorm Superman ripoff. And there was like a canister of gas that was going to kill everybody. And so the only thing Majestic could do is just inhale it. And he goes up to space, because he's going to like exhale it. But he doesn't exhale it. and there's this like trip that he goes on, and it's so psychedelic that I'm like, I'm gonna love this guy's stuff forever. And then when I found out there was a Joe Kelly who's a man of action, and then I can't remember the artist's name right now because I'm blanking. And
Duncan
then Stephen,
Rouleau.
yeah, Duncan Rouleau. Oh my God, his start so good. He's so amazing. And Steven Seagal. People like Steven Seagal. I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm okay with him.
I have liked Steven Seagal stories.
My favorite thing he ever did was Sandman Mystery Theater. He would do the alternate stories with Matt Wagner, and those were fantastic.
Ooh, oh wait, he would write and Matt Wagner would draw, whereas the regular stories were Matt Wagner writing and Guy Davis drawing.
No, it was Matt Wagner and Guy Davis, or it was Steve Yoel, I think, or maybe it was John Watkiss. That was the artist. It was John Watkiss and it was Guy Davis, and then the writers were Matt Wagner and Steven Seagal.
Yeah, I don't remember the backups.
Not Steven Seagal from the Muppets, but Steven Seagal. And a man of action is Joe Kelly. And Joe Kelly does I Kill Giants.
Also, the Muppets was Jason Segel, and Steven Seagal was the CIA.
He was the Fire Down Below guy.
He was the CIA ninja.
Yeah.
He always had 3-word titles in his movies, like
Out of
Kill
Time.
to Impact.
Is that one of them for real?
I actually saw Fire Down Below. My dad dragged me that one.
Down to fuck. Steven
Fire Down
Seagal
Below.
is down to fuck.
There you go, Jason Segel. Let's see.
He was the Muppets
anything
guy.
else?
He did a good Muppets movie. It's quality Muppets work.
All right, let me tell you guys one last.
Oh,
thing.
speaking of Muppets work, Frank Oz, Knives Out. I watched Knives Out.
Oh, you saw that?
Good.
I did. Yes, I did.
Wait, I'm sorry. Please explain. I don't understand.
Yeah, Frank Oz.
The Muppets?
He was
The association with the Muppets?
Frank Oz, who was famously a Muppet.
Yeah. I'm
was
died too young.
In Knives Out.
He was
Are
in
you
Knives
too
Out.
young? Yeah. He was the guy who
Nah.
read the will. Yeah.
Oh, was
Oh,
he?
No, I had no idea.
Oh, dude, R.I.P. Carl Reiner.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, Carl Reiner.
And in comic books, Joe Sinnott died.
Whoa! Oh, he's
Joe
inking the
Sinnott.
king in heaven. He's inking the king in heaven now.
So let me see. Did I put that in? All right. So I did a live stream with Thinking Critical. I'm gonna put it in the chat. It's like 2 hours long, but if you want to hear me expound on BS about comic book industry, you can watch that. Also,
I already watched this.
No. We're talking about, bad behavior in comic books.
Oh,
There's a couple interesting stories
like
in there.
Warren Ellis style, or what kind of?
Kind of, yeah, but it starts with this joke that Mark Waid was involved with as an editor, and it's very interesting. Anyhow, I don't remember what I was going to say. So, yeah, R.I.P. Joe Sinnott. They said, hey, Joe Sinnott died. What do you think about that? And I said, well, he inked a lot of stuff. He got the job done. That's what I said. Because he's famous for, like, really butchering Jack Kirby's work. Jack Kirby made
Jack
it so,
Kirby
like,
came
blind
back to life.
people could ink him. Yeah.
As
Anybody
soon as
could
Joe
ink him.
Sinnott died, Jack Kirby came back to life and was like, "I'm back, baby!"
And then Joe Sinnott to get 20. Granted, I mean, admittedly, he'd have to get 24 pages done in a day, or whatever. He basically would take a Marx a lot and just go all over it. And it's like all that fine detail that Kirby actually put in there gets kind of butchered. And if you get the Jack Kirby collector that Tomorrow Press has been putting out for a long time, you can see original artwork that Kirby had out there, and it's usually donations to the magazine. and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, so Joe Sinnott died. And then just today I was seeing on social media, people are like going, oh, hey, Mike Royer, everybody, the best guy that ever inked Kirby. And then everybody was saying he's a legend over here and that he was the greatest inker of all time. And now everybody's like, Mike Royer, he's like the best guy that ever inked Kirby. When he finally found an inker that finally was able to ink him, it was quite the thing. It's like, what a slap. One day it's like this, the other day it's like this. So goes your life as a comic creator.
No, so goes everything, because nobody's gonna talk shit, like, except us right now. Most people are not gonna publish. Joe Sinnott died today. He fucking muddied up Kirby. That's his legacy. He's a piece of shit. God bless. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's not like that's everyone always. You always overinflate people's accomplishments. As out of respect for the dead. Hey, I don't have respect for the dead. I'm sorry. I myself.
Yeah, you do. I wanted to do a.
No, you're right. I do.
I'm going to tell everybody this one. This was my gimmick I wanted to do. I wanted us to have a seance. And, it'd be like, ha, 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 we'll have a seance with Jack Kirby. Ha, 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 we'll have a seance with Wally Wood. And I'm like, all right, let's have a seance with Seth Fisher.
No, I'm not okay with that.
That cuts to the quick there.
It did. I do. Well, those other people were old. He died tragically. So? I mean, it's all. Oh, anytime someone dies, it's a tragedy. Yada yada yada.
It is,
but it's much more tragic when they die in like their 30s or early 40s or however.
And they had so much more to give us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Joe Sinnott had nothing left to give. I mean, come on. He gave it all.
All right. How about this? Could dying young? It's sometimes it makes your legacy stronger. Many a time that's happened. Many a time. More often than not.
Legacy?
I believe it was one of the legendary wise men who said, "Only the good die young." So. This we know. The one thing when we would bring up like this kind of conversation, when we would bring this kind of conversation up at Comic Relief, and it was usually with Sean, I would say, we would be like listening to like Buddy Holly or something like that, and that's a guy that I don't think he was ever going to progress past what he's doing. Dying when he did was like the best thing he could have done for his career. Maybe not his life, but his musical career. Well,
I mean, I'm no musician. What do I know?
I mean, maybe one more album and then a kid to like collect the checks so that all the money wasn't going to like the publishing company or whoever.
Right.
Rights to all of the Buddy Holly music. I don't know the backstory, but I imagine that it was mostly publishing companies and record labels who are getting paid off of Buddy Holly's limited output that is constantly repackaged and resold. But that's the same with like Jimi Hendrix. Same thing. He'd put out like 4 albums.
And yeah,
like
exactly.
He was a recording solo artist for like 3 years, I think, or something like that. It's like.
All right, before we leave, I want to ask you guys.
We could have done a lot more. Joe Sinnott? Probably not. No offense. Carl Reiner probably didn't have a lot more.
He was probably done. He was probably done.
The tank.
But Mel Brooks just celebrated a birthday, and then Carl Reiner dies.
They always go very close to one another. So
that's going to be sad.
Mel Brooks, yeah.
That's like, there's not very many more legends out there like that. Like also, legitimate legends.
He just celebrated his 2090th
2020th birthday, yeah, something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, there's not that many more legends in anything out there. We're not really building the new ones. Remember when basketball was going through this after like Magic was gone and all those other guys, and they're like, we don't have any stars. It's just like these team jerseys is what we have.
What? Who was saying that?
A lot of people were saying that. Like when Jordan was
After
gone,
Magic?
and it was like, boom,
Wait, Jordan was gone?
Yeah, he was gone for like 6 years or something like that.
The NBA had transitioned to a star system where they manufactured superstars.
They weren't the same. They've never been the same
the NBA
since.
was. Yeah, I guess, but you still have people now who are nostalgic about that shit that was going on in the 90s.
I don't disagree with that. But they
like,
had...
Oh, Sean Kemp! Now that was an NBA superstar.
Right.
He had like 30 children.
But I mean, even like in... I don't know. It's just,
No
Hollywood,
rings, but...
all that stuff. We're even in comic books where, Chris Claremont's not going to be around much longer, and it's not like he's doing stuff. I mean, he's being paid by Marvel
right now. That's right. He could be around right now if you wanted.
You're telling me he couldn't do one of Hickman's books? He could totally be doing one of those right now. It would be good. It'd be wordy, but it'd be good.
I mean, he could be doing a Dark Knight's heavy metal story. Why not? Like they pulled Warren Ellis's heavy metal story. Why not throw a 2-pager Chris Claremont's way? It's probably his
he's
contract
stuck over
will
at Marvel.
allow him to work for the distinguished competition.
All right. Lastly, and this is kind of going back to continuity because this book is very much heavy in like how things are presented to the people. George R. R. Martin supposedly is planning sometime. He missed another date basically to get this
deadline.
This deadline, to get the second to last book out. Firstly, are you surprised?
No.
ATN.
No, not at all.
No, not at all. No. ATN famously only read the second book because he wasn't going to wait for that guy.
I wasn't going to either, but I was never going to read them until they were all out. But then the TV show made me...
Haven't seen it.
Change my mind.
Still waiting. Still
the
waiting.
TV show, I stopped watching the TV show after, I think, 4 seasons, I think. In the 4th season, I stopped watching. But I wish I would have remained true to my ideals and never watched
never
the
spent
show
the time.
I would have never watched
the show.
And if I had been able to say like, hey, I'm just gonna divorce myself from all of popular culture and American culture. Maybe I'll move to Iowa and into some sort of hermitage.
I saw Martin in the news today, or somehow they're doing Comic-Con anyway. Is that right? Because
it's got to be an online thing.
No, I'm sure it is, but it was him and Patrick Rothfuss, I think, talking about
missing deadlines.
No, talking about Tolkien.
Okay.
Oh, whatever.
No, go ahead. Tell me more. I'm just laughing.
He doesn't just write. I mean, and he's made a big point of that he's not going to do anything he doesn't want to do. So knowing that he's going to write at the pace that he wants to write at, can't really begrudge him.
I can't begrudge him, but I mean, we started this journey, right? And well, I mean, assuming we did.
When did we start this journey? Well,
exactly. Thankfully, I started it a little late, so I had some books to read. But you don't even know like key things that happen. It's so crazy, like being in your presence and not saying something about the something. You know.
I'm glad that it's no longer a like super popular thing, so you don't have to worry too much, right?
Well, I know, but fantasy novels is kind of like our thing. We have the sci-fi fantasy read-along.
Well, he's not done yet.
He's not done yet.
I mean, why would you bet on a series that isn't finished, other than you can, right? Like, are you really expecting it to end perfectly when most of them don't?
to be fair, you read The Black Company and then never read another book of that series.
No, I read the
Well,
first
me.
3 in that series, and that was it. I stopped. I read the trilogy. I enjoyed it immensely, and I stopped.
I see. But then you didn't continue after that because you felt that that was a...
I just read other stuff. I mean, I got into Steven Erikson right after that, so...
And that's a book that is all about every single detail and how it affects other things. And we're reading scenes that are like chapters long that are covering just one day. And it's
3 chapters, one day.
3 or 4 chapters. It was amazing.
Yeah, no, it was
And
3, but yeah.
it was only 3. Oh my God. And it's it's very important. Everything's important. Everything's important, and if he gets anything wrong, it's like, a speed bump that takes your entire, your Formula One cars, right? And you, you disintegrate. And one little bump, and it's like, oh my God, we got to put everything back together again. We got to figure it all out. That's crazy. I think in that aspect, that's when like a continuity is very important.
Yeah, but he's the sole owner of his continuity.
He is.
And it's one person writing
You've got
one series of books.
Or even in the shared world, it doesn't even matter. It's like it's theirs together. They have control over it. And I think that's really what rankles a lot of people in continuities, because those stories, like anything sequential like that, the TV shows that were written by all sorts of different people, like the canon, there is no canon. You have to let it go. There just isn't.
Like, okay, so take a look at Japan and anime. One of my favorite anime of all time is a show called Tenchi Muyo, and it's a series. There's like 4 different series, and they're all essentially parallel universes because they're all similar characters and similar plots, but they're not exactly the same. And like each one is essentially a reboot, a slight reimagining, because it's a different team taking over and like doing a new twist on a thing that had already been done.
Right.
Like, and that's just the way it always is.
Limits, right?
Well, I mean, yes, but sometimes those limits are pretty extreme. Like
stretchy.
Like they're just they just reimagine whatever they want. And people are just like, okay, cool, a new series of this, and it's like that was that, and it was 12 episodes, and that was that series. And then the next series that might happen 5 years later is going to be entirely different and not like season 2 of that. It's going to be just a reimagining of that world. And like, I'm totally okay with that. In fact, I appreciate that. Like, I like that. I don't know. I'm just not hung up on it. But I get
that's what editors are for also, like when it's a big
good
novel,
editor.
A good editor, a group editor, I think that's what comic fans find so irksome is when it's like obvious things, it's not, someone should be
his underwear are supposed to be on the outside.
I think that would be,
I really hope that someone got fired over this.
I would hope it's a little bit more than just something like that. I remember a lot of people being really upset with X-Force when Peter Milligan took over. I remember people getting...
like that, a wizard did it.
I remember a lot of people being upset with some of the Joe Kelly stories when he took over Justice League. And
sure. Or Deadpool,
that was in the early aughts, and he was injecting politics. Yeah, he was. That's what it really was.
You're doing something that is not in accordance with the status quo. There's always going to be some resistance to that. Like the same thing with Zeb Wells and Scotty Young, New Warriors. Like,
I can't believe people hate that so much.
People hated it.
God, they hate that. I mean, I can understand not liking a cartoony style, but it was not outdated like that most recent West Coast Avengers was. It basically 18. It was like it was a real world of superheroes, where you're following them around, basically, or road
reality
rules,
show.
whatever. Reality.
But it was like, yeah, not unlike the Peter Milligan X-Force.
Yeah. Oh, those were good. I have that, by the way, at the store. I just found them, and I put them on the shelf at the front of the store. And you should get Peter Milligan's X-Statics.
You got that omnibus? You got that omnibus?
It's not an omnibus. No, it's the soft covers now. It's volume 1.
There
that
is
omnibus is out of print. Out of print.
I know.
Anyhow, everybody,
I know.
I'm going to say goodbye for Quick Draw McGraw. Guys, would you like to say goodbye for yourself?
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of Fantastic Comics Presents. Appreciate you for showing up.
Indeed. Hey, Coffee Junkie, recommend the best Dickens. Just one. Just the best.
What kind of Dickens?
Dickens. The only kind.
What, like Tale of Two Cities or something?
To start?
Yes,
to start,
like that.
Just
no. Just
what's the pirate one?
It's the best.
That's not Dickens. What do you?
Oh, that's not. There's not like a little boy and pirates and stuff.
I don't
think
think
there's a smuggler.
Nicholas Nickleby. No, you won't see me tomorrow, Fantinuum. You don't listen to the show.
I don't care. I don't care about winding.
You always spouting your libertarian propaganda.
Absolutely fine.
Yeah, all you do is type in the thing. You don't listen.
Yeah, I love it because on Fantinuum will Instagram me. He's like, so you got comics coming in? And I'm like, didn't I say it might not be till like the end of next week? He must have talked to my brother or something
about continuity of this show.
Exactly.
Continuity is not important.
I used to say to customers, "Oh, you don't listen to our show. I just talked about that." It doesn't help.
It doesn't help. They're like children.
Stan Lee always said, though, man. Every issue is somebody's first issue.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. Write them that way. I'd rather it be that way. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave you with this commercial. Hey, everybody. Come into Fantastic Comics and get Raiders from Dark Horse Comics. It's written by Daniel Friedman with art by Crom, Conan's favorite artist. Raiders is a fantasy comic with stylized artwork that's reminiscent of Andrew McLean. He's the guy that does Headlopper. Not unlike that, this is fantasy-based. There's a lot of beheadings and violence and all sorts of stuff that's really cool. Daniel Friedman's the writer of Undying Love. You might have read that from Image Comics. And Crom has done an artwork for a book called Bird King. So if you read those, or you just like fantasy, or you just like something different than the main two, you should come into Fantastic Comics and get Raiders. I know I will be.